Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. How are we doing today? Hold on, let me go ahead and think. Mute that so I'm not hearing myself. We should have music in the background. We can lower that probably a little bit. Yeah, probably like that. It's weird because the way I have the music set up is it's playing for you guys on stream, but I can't hear it. So audio balancing is a bit weird, but we're trying to figure it out. How you guys like the new chat box? I actually quite like this a lot. I think it looks good. I'm quite pleased with this. Let me try to find... I'm having to set a lot of things up. I literally just got home. What's up, T.B.A.G? Good to see you guys here. Good to see everybody. T.B.A.G. Nomad Prod's in chat too. Let's go. Non-rotating rain, Dr. Torpedo. The usual suspects. The usual suspects. Hold on for a second. I want to find... I don't have my desktop audio playing, right? No, I don't. Make sure I find the correct thingy. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I got my thingy. We are just waiting for a couple more people to go live. So I just got back. I've been a little... Seems a touch loud compared to you. Okay. Turn it down a tad. Appreciate it. See, I could just unmute my own damn stream, and then that way I can literally hear myself. But it should be going. It should be going. Yeah, I basically literally just got back. I was just with my dad, it seems like every time I try to do a stream, I'm having to do stuff with my dad in the meantime, but I was just with him messing with my car, and it took a lot longer than I thought. So I got greasy hands, my pants are dirty. It's a real thing. It's a whole thing, but I managed to make it I literally got home and it was like 2:58 and I was like, all right, well, fuck. So I'm live now, but I've got a couple bits and a couple things that I wanted to set up, and we can do that here in just a minute, including this new chat box. I'm quite excited for this new chat box. It's a little bit with the background. You guys are in white. We'll try to get some highlights on the back of that text, but at least this works. I was really worried because last night I was experimenting with it and it didn't seem like it was working, but now it's working, so that's really good. We do also have... Let me go for... I actually don't know if this is going to end up working the way I want it, but... Okay, yeah. We do also have a bit of a surprise. I mean, I guess sort of a surprise. Not really, but to me it's something that I wasn't really planning on implementing into this stream, but fuck it, I don't really care. It's me! It's me! Whoa! Webcam? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. This can't be real. That can't be right. That doesn't sound right at all. Let's see if it's even working. Is it working? It should be. Oh, it's delayed way more than I thought it was. I was sitting here and I was looking to stream at YouTube and I was like, why isn't my webcam showing up? It is, wow, that's quite the delay. I did not really expect that to be as delayed as it was. But yeah, I'm thinking, why not? Fuck it, webcam. Why not? I have it. I finally replaced it, so to speak, with one that does not come in and out of focus consistently. My old webcam was really bad because it would constantly, it didn't know how to fucking grab focus, and it would just, the slightest minute movements would screw everything up. So I finally have this one now, which has been sitting in one of my drawers for a while. I stole it from work. Nobody's gonna miss it. It was gonna get surplused anyways. It's just a shitty Logitech 1080p webcam. I don't give a fuck. So I just figured I might use it. Why not? For stream, because streaming is more, you get more personal with a webcam, right? You want to be able to express and to be able to, and also I've got all this, so might as well show it off, right? I mean, geez, what's the fucking point? But we have a lot of things to do today. It's P.R.E.B.A.G time. It's P.R.E.B.A.G time, everybody. P.R.E.B.A.G time, everybody. You all know what that means, but let's go ahead and let's get the stream music out of here. we're just gonna... Nah, fuck any sort of smooth transition. Just turn that shit off. Desktop audio. We have something today. We have a lot of things to do today. I also should probably open Sprocket because that was kind of a big... That was... Hold on a minute. We're gonna let the music go while I open Sprocket. Okay, everybody. Today is the day. What we were working on last stream, it was only a teaser of what's to come. That's loud. Ooh, that's loud. What you saw last stream was only a fraction of my power. Only 1% of what I'm capable of. My abilities go far beyond anything that I have shown live or otherwise. And today, I will show all of you what I'm truly capable of. Because I've been busy. I've been doing some mining off camera, so to speak. And I come to you more powerful than you could possibly have ever imagined. Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe I've outdone myself this time. Sandbox, quickly, quick! Sprocket, quick! Game capture. Sprocket. Quickly. Scene transition! Yes! The transition worked! Sprocket! We're here. And we have much to do. Turn that shit off. Get the stream music back up. Wait, we don't have stream music. Okay. But you get it. Sprocket. Where's my damn Streamless playlists? Now we have to worry about this. I've been working hard on P.R.E.B.A.G this whole time. And you all are about to see truly what I'm capable of. I know I'm rehashing the same thing. There we go. Now we have music. Yes. Great. So I'm going to turn off the webcam for this just because I want this to be on YouTube. So hi YouTube. We're going to cut this up into YouTube, and can't have face cam on YouTube. That's gay. So turn that off, but we'll get you guys in here. We'll get you guys nice and big. Nice in here. The timing still needs some work, lol. Hey, look, I gave it my best shot, okay? Let's turn the desktop audio down a tad bit. Like Thor, sometimes it takes a moment. Exactly. Chat, you guys are doing good. Let's actually give you guys a little bit of a backdrop, slightly maybe. Well, I need to turn the music down for my own sanity. Hold on a minute. I think last time I had it on 5. Yeah, I had it on like 5%, and then brought it up to like here. And then Chatimus. Layers. No, not layers. God damn you. Here we go. Let's do a dark chat. Let's do dark chat. Alright, chat disappears. Don't worry about it. It'll come back. Bam. Okay. We're getting used to this. We're figuring everything out. It's Sprocket time. So I've been busy. I have been very busy with what I've been designing. Whoa, Jesus Christ. Whoa. Why is the camera... Hello? Wow. I don't remember that happening, but whatever. Yeah, I've been busy with things involving Sprocket. And so I have made a lot of designs. Centaur, Caterpillar. I've been busy. I have made so many tanks. Pre-bag test. You know, this is where we started. We started way back here, if you guys remember all this. Wow, geez, whoa, this is behaving very oddly. Is it gonna run nicely? Well, my sensitivity is all weird. How did that happen? Gameplay? Budget size? No, it wasn't. Oh, camera, yeah, probably. That would probably be it. Look sensitivity. Drag that down. Why the heck? 25 maybe? Field of view. I do like a good 90 field of view. Wait, that's what it is, right? FOV? Yeah, try that. I didn't hit apply, did I? Oh, no, that worked. Sort of. No, it didn't. Oh, come on, Sprocket. Why are you doing this to me now? Yeah, 90, 25. Apply that, sheesh. Pan, lower that maybe. It could just be because I'm streaming. I mean, I haven't really streamed Sprocket before. Well, I have, but nothing like this, son. Sheesh, that's a lot of tanks. It is sheesh a lot of tanks. I guess we're just gonna have to deal with this. That's really weird why it's doing that, but whatever. Yes, I have a lot of tanks. I mean, other than the other tanks that I have saved. Pre-bag tanks specifically. So this is where we started, right? With our pre-bag test. Mark 1, you know, whatever it was, so be it. Wow, that is lagging hard. You know what it is? It's probably because I have this open in the background. Let's save this. I have something open in the background because I wanted to show you guys, but we're gonna firstly just save this as Sprocket Caterpillar. And we're gonna close this because I've got something open in the background and I think that might be fucking with things. Fuck it. Close this shit down, close this shit down. There we go. Has that helped? A little bit. Close some tabs. Close some tabs on Google Chrome. I'm streaming and I've got Sprocket. Those are the only two things. Oh, that sort of helped. All right, we're gonna live with this, right? We also do that. Yeah, the naming scheme is great. Naming scheme is fantastic. So after the failures of the previous stream, I'm gonna lean back here, right? We gotta get comfortable, guys. Get comfortable. We'll be here for a while. I'm gonna try not to stream for too long, but after the failures of these designs, right? Last time we worked on this and we worked on your mom. We worked a little bit on your mom, and she was very helpful, actually. She was quite nice. We worked on the Pre.B.A.G fast. You know, we jumped between two major philosophies of big, you know, like a large thing. You German or something that's a lot of variants of one tank. Yes. I've decided to go British for this one, by the way. So the lore is that we are Britain for this. So when I do my presentation, I'm gonna have to put on my best British accent for this. But that shouldn't be too difficult to do. I can run a pretty good British accent. But we had the fast variant here. The idea of maybe instead of being big and sluggish like a caterpillar, we have something that can get across the trench through sheer speed. And that was enabling, or that was, you know, owing to this. And this was not quite as successful. If you were here last stream, you know that what I kept running into was a mixture between being fast enough to get up these hills and then also being long enough to cross those trenches, because you can't have speed and length at the same time. We all know this, right, fellas? Have the lore written? I don't. I mean, I do. Yes, actually. I was about to say that I don't, but I actually do. I would have just straight lied to you guys in your faces. I'm sorry, but no, I do have lore written. So we're just a British. I don't want to go too crazy. We're just a British designer. That's just who we are. That's how we're doing it. But we had the Pre.B.A.G Fast Mark II. I think the Pre.B.A.G Fast was kind of what we were banking on a lot. And this is when we started kind of getting into like Churchill territory, where we started getting into stuff that looked like a bit of a Churchill. And I even ended up naming one of them. Or yeah, we Pre.B.A.G test. Yeah, this fucking monstrosity. Whatever the hell I was trying to do with this. I was trying to experiment with the bogies. But we ended up getting into... well, we got into your mom. We already covered that. There we go. Churchill. So at the end of the stream, this was kind of what my 3.5 hours or so amalgamated to. This is kind of what we ended up with. Was something very Churchill-like. Quite Churchill-like indeed. And I kind of liked that. I kind of liked that ability. Or not ability. I kind of liked that philosophy of doing something very Churchill-esque. But it does not quite have enough power to make it up these hills. And that, to me, is a big problem. Or at the very least, yeah, it can... she's struggling, but she can technically do it. And also, I think she might be able to get across the trenches, but we're not going to bother testing because we don't care about this. This is a failed design as far as I'm concerned. So I ran with this. First of all, I liked this Churchill thing. But more specifically, I really liked what we experimented with on... There was at one point, I don't think I actually ended up saving it, unless I did, and I just don't know what I did with it. But there was one model that we made that was like it was very wedge-shaped. It was like a tiny little wedge guy. We took the turret off and we made it a wedge. And I really liked that silhouette of taking like the sprocket or the idler and raising it, and then messing with the return rollers so that they are... like, you know, you get like a wedge-shaped tank. I really liked that. I really liked this. Like having a silhouette like this And so this is what I worked off of to build what ended up becoming, what eventually became the Centaur, but for a while I still worked on it as the P.R.E.B.A.G Caterpillar, because I think at the end of the stream I had come up with the name Caterpillar, and I just kind of stuck with it, because I was like, it's like a caterpillar, it's a big long thingy that's like, it's a caterpillar, fuck it. So I stuck with Caterpillar for a long time, and then eventually I ended up changing it to Centaur. But before I show you guys, or actually, yeah, I did end up doing the Caterpillar Mark 1. So yeah, so this was my ultimate, like, okay, Churchill-y thing. And you can see I've got the idler way up here. I've kind of got like a bit of a slant going. Like this was very much what inspired the design. Like an STRV, yes. Pretty much like an STRV, but not like the whole tank is a wedge, but like kind of having like a slanted silhouette, right? I wanted something like a Churchill, but that wasn't complete flat on top. I wanted it to have like a bit of an angle to it. And this is where we have the second element that I was going to introduce to this stream. And that would have been, if we get this and go into window capture. Oops, sorry. Get window capture. Film. I'm going to show you guys, because I say I did some mining off camera, but I kind of didn't. So you guys can see this, right? You guys can see, take the hit film, drag this below that, below all of this. There we go. So you guys should be able to see this. Can I full screen this? No, but that's okay. We have it here. So I do say that I did mining off camera, but I kind of didn't. I kind of cheated you guys a little bit. I did a little bit of a doopsie, and I did record it. I just offhandedly, there's no audio. I literally didn't even I had no audio. I just recorded my troubleshooting process and my design. So we started with this. And my first thing, this is my editing software, by the way. There's gonna be a bit of behind the scenes in this video. After we do what I have planned for this stream, we're gonna do a little bit of photo editing as well. You guys are gonna help me with some of that. Excuse me. We are going to make this big so that you guys can see it. Come on now. Oh, let's right click. There we go. All right. So I started with, as we're seeing there. And my first order of business, let's speed this up by speed duration. Let's speed this up by like, fuck it, man, like 300%. So my first thing that I immediately did was yoinked off the rest of the return rollers and went for my slanted silhouette, my angled, kind of having the front of it peek up a little bit and the back down here. And this is the silhouette that I would keep for the rest of the project. This would be the philosophy that would dominate this design. And the time lapsing is kind of working. It's pretty glitchy, but you guys got to get a sense of what I'm trying to do. Went with the Churchill sprocket holders and just really fine-tuned it a little bit to work with the trenches. I messed with a lot of different road wheel designs. You'll notice, I'll explain my naming convention later, but I fucked around with a lot of different road wheel configurations. And this was an interesting one that I started doing where I went with thinner road wheels. I saw a Reddit post of a guy who had his design, and I saw in the screenshot that he had very thin wheels. And if you remember, what I was having a problem with last time was that my wheels were either too thick or too big or too whatever and added too much weight, and I couldn't climb hills. So I thought if I just had double layered on really thin wheels and spaced them out, maybe that could help with my weight problem. And that's a philosophy that would definitely stick. And I ended up messing with all sorts of suspension designs to get them to cross trenches. I think this one failed, ended up failing on me. I don't think I managed to cross the trench with this one. Tried, and this was when I started making the tank a bit longer. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it longer. And this is where we really get the silhouette of what I have now. Adding more road wheels, slowly but surely. And then I think with this one, I think it was this one I was able to cross. Yes, yep. So this one I was finally able to cross the trench. Just like that. And that was a huge moment. I think I literally, if I unpause and I go back down to 100%, the only audio in the whole thing, the only audio in this during this entire recording, I unpaused. Oh wait, now we're way back here. I literally unpaused the recording, or I unmuted the audio for the recording, and then just for that one moment. Let's fucking go. So I did that. So I finally crossed the trench. So I was like, holy shit, I can actually do this. So that was a huge morale, but let's go to 200 just so that rewinding and fast forwarding is not nearly as weird. So as soon as I got that, yeah, I started decorating. As soon as I had something that allowed me to cross the trenches, I was like, I got this. So then I started decorating, and I started throwing the engine compartment, or engine pieces, engine deck stuff on there, the trench fin. I had this fun idea. I don't really know how I got it, but I wanted to include some fenders on it because I didn't want to perfectly mimic the Churchill and having the completely exposed top tracks. So I started throwing on some of these little guys and these little fins, or these little fenders. And while I was doing that, I had the weird idea to take a pair of fins, or fenders, and flip them upside down so that they would stick off the back a little bit and like extend off the back. And I really liked that aesthetic. I don't know why, something about it. I looked at that and I was like, that looks really cool. And also like the lips, because if you flip them upside down, the fender lips like come up like this, and I thought that looked cool. So that ends up becoming a defining characteristic of the design. And then we build our classic fenders on the sides. I love doing this. I always love adding those like Matilda style fenders to the back. I added spot or tail lights. I added headlights. I messed around with the fender. The fender's design, or the side thingies, the fucking side coverings, the Schürzen. Fuck it, right? We're German. The Schürzen. We're not German, but the skirts. I messed with this design of these skirts quite a bit before I settled on one that I really liked a lot. But for now, we stuck with that. And then next, once I had something that actually worked, I was able to consistently drive up the hill, consistently able to cross the trench. So once again, able to get over the hill, able to cross the trench. I was feeling really good. I was like, holy shit, I actually have something that works. Like I was super excited. Like I tried to shoot a barrel in excitement, but my turret wouldn't move. So I was like, okay, time to redesign the turret. So the turret, I was pretty much full Churchill at this point. I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna do something Churchill. Like, fuck it, right, at this point. And I thought it would be a cool aesthetic. So for the Churchill turret, for the turret, I was very inspired by the Churchill. I want to make something boxy, something very British. I think I got up at some point because, yeah, you can see I was just walking. I walked away at that point. But I started shaping the turret, made it wider, made it longer, made it just generally bigger. Kept the back angled a little bit. You'll see how I do that in a minute. And already it's Churchill. Like just by reshaping the turret, you immediately look at that and you're like, okay, that's a Churchill. Like bam. Like that's pretty much instantly already the silhouette is there. And so I knew I was on the right track with that. But I wanted to do more with that. I didn't want to just make a perfect replica of a Churchill. And I ended up designing some more, or I ended up throwing some more elements into it later on that make it look a little more Churchill, but also a little less Churchill at the same time. I decided to stick with the same mantlet that I was using before. Shaped the turret up nice. Oh yeah, I switched back to the Sherman mantlet, but I end up getting back to the other one eventually. I also end up changing the track design too, you'll see, but reshape the hull a little bit, make it a bit taller, make it a bit longer. Have to redo the fenders because of that, but already I was, on the verge of redoing the fenders anyways, so really fine tuning, because now that I have it that it works, now all that's left is to just get it looking pretty. So I'm adding periscopes, I'm adding riveted armor. Yeah, this is when I started riveting the armor. At this point I thought like, hey, I'm done. I've pretty much done everything. Remove the turret, add the riveted armor, add the hatches to the top. I thought it was a cool Easter egg that I had one hatch that was like slanted and angled kind of weird, and then one hatch that was like perfectly centered and on the side, as a reference to the Firefly, because the Firefly, they had to weld that hatch on there awkwardly on the side. I thought that was cool. I thought that was kind of British. Can still cross trenches with it, can still shoot. I was feeling really good putting periscopes on it, putting more armored paneling, just all the good stuff. Put the storage on the back, and just generally designing, right? Perfecting. And I think we can leave there. We can leave that off. Discard. No, don't save changes. We'll turn that, because what all those efforts resulted in was the Caterpillar. So we went from Mark 1, which was this, to the Caterpillar Mark 2, which is this. And this is pretty much my design. This is pretty much like, I've made plenty of alterations. I mean, obviously there's only the Mark II, and spoiler alert, the final is going to be the Mark VI. So we have, 4 more marks to get through. But for now, this is pretty much what I ended up with. I loved the detail of the flag on the front, just like you're thinking of like Mark IVs, Mark Vs in World War I. They had the British flag. The suspension system is still pretty much the same as these early designs. Redesigned the fenders, I think, a tad bit. Threw on the all the decoratives, all the fun stuff. The engine deck's looking good. What is Prebag? Just found this. I just found this at random. Giga Chat I would expect someone with your username to know exactly what Sprocket to know exactly what Prebag is. But for a quick explanation, Prebag is a competition held by T-Bag, who is in chat. Howdy. And he is holding a competition for Sprocket where he gives you a set of requirements and then you have to fulfill them with a tank design. And this is called Pre-Bag because it's World War I. It's like a prequel to the other challenges that he's done. So the challenge is to make a World War I tank that performs very well under his restrictions. And if you go Google Pre-Bag, T-Bag, and you'll find the video that lays out the specifications. Yeah, the Tumor MG. So I thought this was cool. I actually liked this, and it's only on one side. I thought this was like a fun little like... It makes it asymmetrical, it makes it stand out, and also, I mean, it's just a big fuck-off MG. Who doesn't love a big fuck-off MG? Driver gets his own MG because this is World War I, and, you know, World War I designers would totally think of something like that, where they'd be like, oh, well, if the tank is sitting still, the driver isn't doing anything, so give him a machine gun to use in case they're not doing anything. He's got plenty of visibility. He's got his front periscope. He's got 2 additional periscopes, his hatch on the top. He's got immediate access to shovels, axes, tools, anything to dig the tank out of a trench if he ever has to hop out. He's got storage on the front here, and he's got headlights. The tank itself has a big spotlight on the top. I call this tank very proto Churchill / Centurion. I think it definitely has Centurion vibes with the storage on the top here, on the sides, and on the back. This is before I put riveted panels on the roof. We've got the periscope for the commander. This will end up moving. We've got a periscope for the gunner, and then hatch for the gunner, hatch for the loader, and hatch for the commander. Because at this point, the gunner and the commander, the loader and the commander were 2 separate roles. I end up changing that. I end up going with a 3-man crew because it's World War I, and they don't care about crew safety or overstressing the crew. Engine deck is decently detailed. I always wish I could do more detailing with engine decks. I've seen a lot of crazy designs that have like really cool engine decks, and I just can't ever do that. But stuck with my fender designs on the back here. I liked this. I really liked this design. Trench fin, extra fuel drum sitting on the top of the trench fin. I thought that was a cool idea, and put the log for getting out of, for getting over trenches or getting unstuck over on top of the trench fin as well. I really wanted to do a thing where I got a bunch of different logs and stacked them on top of the turret as like a reference to a lot of those photos that you'll see of Mark IVs, Mark Vs, Mark Is and stuff that have all the giant like hay bales on top of them that allow them to cross over trenches and stuff. I wanted to kind of do like a reference to that because I kind of feel like this wasn't World War I enough, so I wanted to find more things to connect it to World War I, but I couldn't fit it on top of the turret or on the engine deck. I don't want to cover up the engine deck with all that stuff, so I just left the one log right here, but I still think it looks good and it still works. We're using a clutch braking transmission system. Engine is obviously the same. Engine and gun are the same. Transmission settings I've got there. This ends up changing a lot, and I'll show you guys just how much this ends up changing. Caterpillar, Centaur, I keep jumping back and forth. But so from the Mark II, we evolve, and as you can see, there are a lot of evolutions, but I'll try not to waste too much time on this. To the Mark III, not too much has changed. You might notice, like, what did you even change? Well, I changed usually the transmission. Yeah, I think the transmission is slightly different on this one, but mostly it's the tracks. The biggest thing that changes between most of the marks of my Caterpillar Centaur is the running gear and the transmission, because that's really what I was trying to do at that point, was fine-tune, make it go faster, make it climb better, yada, yada, yada. I end up adding a pistol port right here, because I think pistol ports are cool. I think I have a pistol port on the other side of the turret here as well. Yeah, not too much different from the Mark II. I think it probably had slightly wider road wheels, maybe? Yeah, I think I made the road wheels like a little bit thicker. Didn't end up working out, because I ended up moving on to the Mark IV. So we have the 3, the Mark IV. Mark IV is probably same transmission. What did I change? Oh, yes, here we go. Okay, so this was big moves with the running gear. This is, Oh yeah, and also we changed the track. So now the track, I think, I don't think this was on the Mark III, but the Mark IV, now we're using the tracks here. I always thought these tracks were French, but having side-by-side pictures with World War I Mark Vs, British Mark Vs, these are actually British Mark V, Mark IV tracks. So I was like, oh shit, cool. So I ended up using those. And I think actually this was also where I had I think I actually thinned the tracks out here as well. I think because the Mark III, yes. So you can see the tracks are pretty wide here, and I think I ended up making them thinner for the Mark IV because, again, I wanted to reduce weight. So Mark IV ends up with much thinner tracks. You see a huge gap here in the fenders. I end up correcting this, and this will lead to a huge fender redesign. But the biggest issue, or the biggest revolution here, was the suspension, which was introducing having pairs of wheels with a small gap between the pairs, and then because of that, we allow ourselves one extra wheel at the front to catch on the trench. This is something, if you look at Matildas and a lot of other British tanks, they love to do this, where they have like one wheel that almost sits like off the ground. It just sits on the front of the tracks. I couldn't get one to, you know, raise up off the ground and sit like right here where they do in real British tanks, but this was the closest I could get. But I like that design philosophy, and also it legitimately helped. This was a huge revolution in the design of my suspension, where I've got 3 pairs of wheels, and then I've got the one extra on the front to catch the trench. The B1 Bis used similar tracks, sort of. The B1 Bis's tracks were they were much I mean, these are like sharper pointed up here. The B1 Bis were, you know, much thicker. It looked like, I've seen people compare them to baguettes, just big old baguettes strapped to your tracks, which is not entirely false. Transmission is mostly the same here. And you can see here, well, this is when I start naming my transmissions. Transmission, Caterpillar transmission Mark I. And then I have my tracks, the Caterpillar suspension Mark IV. So I'm keeping track of what's changing between all my variants. So after the Mark IV, I move on to the Mark V. And you can see Mark V Star. So this was my fender redesign. So you can see it's much longer. It extends out a little bit more. You've got the lower pieces here and you got the top pieces here. This, I experimented with having 2 at the front here instead of just 1, increasing the gap between the wheels and the bogies. Oh yeah, I think I added another panel to the fenders here. Very, very minute small changes. I finally riveted it up the top here. Very, very minute changes. Oh yeah, I added spare tracks to it because I thought that would look cool. Transmission is still the same, so we still have the Caterpillar transmission Mark I, but now we have suspension Mark V. Out of pure coincidence, with how far forward I had to drag these fenders, these posts, these little poles that connect the fenders to the side of the hull, just so happened to be right in front of the tracks, and I liked that idea of almost having the tracks like encased behind these little poles, and I added these little extra panels right here to kind of connect it, because before they were just free floating there, and I thought that looked a little bit weird. They were just free floating, and I was like, well, we can't have that, so I added the little panels there. But Mark V, you know, all this testing would end up being a little bit, wouldn't quite work out. I move on to Mark V Star, which, for those of you who don't know, I don't know if this carries over into tank naming, but I know for a fact for small arms, like you have the Lee Enfields and stuff, when they would make an addition to a rifle, but not enough of a change to warrant a new mark, they would just put a star at the end. So like, for instance, like I have a Lee Enfield number 4 Mark I. There are also Lee Enfield number 4 Mark I stars, which have a slightly different method of taking out the bolt, but it wasn't enough to designate a whole new mark, so they just do Mark I star. They just add the star at the end. And I liked that idea for tanks. So now this is the Mark V star. Difference here is I've gotten rid of the complete ones at the front, and I stuck with just 3 bogies. And it's just constant changing. It's complete and utter. We have the same transmission here, but I'm not going to go too deep in depth. We've got the Mark V, and for some reason, I just liked having Mark V Star as my name, so then I went to the Star 2, the Star 3, wide. I ended up experimenting with making it much wider, so still having thin tracks, but then compensating with a wider hull. Still fit within the challenge. As you can see, I didn't even bother to change the fenders or anything. I just experimented with this for like 2 seconds. Oh yeah, I also ended up making the road wheels thicker. I forget which one that was. I think that was the Mark V Star like 3 or something. The Star 3. Yeah, I went with, you know, smaller road wheels. I made them a little bit thicker. What suspension did I end up doing that with? This is still the Mark V suspension. Oh god, I've lost track. Caterpillar Mark V. No, yeah, that's this one. Caterpillar Mark V. But I experimented with all kinds of road wheel configurations. Ended up with the Caterpillar Mark VI. Yeah, here we are. The Mark 6, I had tiny road wheels that were very thick and tried to see if that would help. End of the day, it didn't. Transmission, I also experimented. This is where we had this Caterpillar transmission Mark III. I experimented with having 2 gears instead of 3 because I kept finding that I would put it into 3rd gear and then I would try to climb a hill and it wouldn't be enough. And every time I would wiggle the tank around, it would drop down into 1st and I would have enough power to climb, but then he would stick it back in 3rd and then I would lose my power. And it's like, what the fuck? If I can keep it in 1st gear, I can climb those hills. And so my idea was if I just get rid of 3rd gear, then I'm constantly shifting between 1st and 2nd, and so I have that torque, I have that power to climb hills. That line of thinking had some merit, and I would continue to experiment with it on a lot of other designs. As you can see, we have Caterpillar transmission 3. I went all the way into 4, 5, and then eventually changed to the Centaur transmission. Again, I experimented with all kinds of configurations with this. And then finally, I was like, all right, well, let's do Centaur. Let's name it something. I wanted to stick with a C name. I thought Caterpillar was lame. So I wanted to stick with a C name to stick with the British style and stick with Churchill, that connection to the Churchill. So I ended up with Centaur. I think Centaur is a pretty fucking badass name. I think it makes perfect sense for a British tank. So you might wonder what the fuck my naming scheme is here. CT3 Mark 5 star, CT1 Mark 5 star, CT3 Mark 6, yada yada yada, Mark 5. So the CT is with the transmission. CT is Caterpillar transmission, because that's what I've named it. Even though I changed the name of the tank to the Centaur, I wanted to keep the transmission named the Caterpillar transmission as like an homage to what it used to be. So CT is Caterpillar transmission number 3, and then Mark 4, or Mark 6, this is Mark 6, Mark 4, Mark 6, Mark 6 star, all that, is the suspension. So what suspension is it using? So if I click the CT3 Mark 6 star, you have the CT3, and then in the tracks, you're using the Mark 6 star suspension. So the naming scheme tells me all I need to know. What transmission is it using and what suspension layout is it using? Because those are the only 2 things that change. The gun is the same, the engine is the same as per the requirements of the challenge. So the only thing that's changing between any of these variants is my transmission and my drive layout, the layout of my road wheels and such. And so that's all the naming scheme is set to dictate. So this could be the CT. This is technically the CT-1, because Caterpillar transmission -1 Mark 5 star. That's technically what this is. I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, apparently that already exists. We're not gonna overwrite it. Point being is I got super, super specific, and all of my testing with all these different things ended up leading to the CTT series with 2 T's, standing for twin transmission. I finally ended up experimenting with twin transmission as much as I hate it. I don't like twin transmission. I have a real stigma against it. But for this challenge, I just wanted to try it and see if it worked. And it did. It really, really did. So we have the CTT. I got the Mark 5 variant, or I got Mark 5 suspension, my thin wheels. The Mark 5 suspension concept comes up constantly because I really did think this was like the best it would get. And then it's a, oh, this is the Mark 6, sorry. I would CTT5. So the Caterpillar transmission, but it's twin transmission, so it's got 2 T's. The CTT Mark 5 was this one where I had really high gear 1s. And you can see all kinds. I experimented with the transmission Mark 4, so drop down to 4. Mark 5 up to 5. Mark 3 down to 3, get rid of 3rd gear. Mark 2, 3.5 or 3.25, keep it at 3rd gear. Mark 1, just a solid 3, keep all 3 gears. I experimented with all sorts. And then Centaur transmission Mark 1, which is the exact same because I wanted to rename the transmission, but then I ultimately decided against it. Point being, what I've ended up with is, I think my final variant is this one. The CTT5 Mark 6 star. So, with the naming scheme out of the way, this is what I ended up with. And the the suspension system Mark 6 star, the big revolution that I made here was I tripled up the road wheels. If we get rid of these panels, I actually ended up adding a 3rd layer of road wheels. And this changed everything. This, combined with a twin transmission, this thing had fantastic performance in all but one regard, and I'll get to that in a second. I decided to do a bunch of different cosmetic changes. I started thinking more about what the tank was going to be used for, its doctrine, and all that fun stuff. And so I added a bunch of storage to the side. We'll explain that later. And then I also dropped it down to a 3-man crew. But I kept wanting to making a bit more World War I, so I added this little turret on top and was able to put the commander's cupola on top of the little turret. So the commander has his own little turret that he can use to shoot people if he so desires. The gunner has his own machine gun, obviously the coaxial, and then the driver has his own machine gun, because why not? And so the gunner also has his periscope up here. He's got a periscope on the left so he can look all around. He get very, very situational awareness. He's got his scope, obviously. Commander's got the rotating turret. He's got the cupola. He's got all-around vision. And then the driver has his front vision, and then he can see left and right to get full vision. Yeah, T-Bag, you were right that World War I twin transmission was actually quite useful. I also ended up extending my the fenders on the back, and then put a little storage kit on the back. I added a shit ton of storage to this, and I also added storage on the sides. And again, I'll explain that later when we get to the kind of more doctrinal use of this tank. But what it ended up with is the Centaur. The Centaur transmission number 6 Mark... Wait, what? The Centaur, the CTT Mark 5, CTT5 Mark 6. Fuck off, all right? It makes sense. So twin transmission actually ended up really working for me, specifically in climbing. The biggest thing that I was having issues with was climbing. I really just could not climb to save my life. This handles it no fucking problem. I mean, like, literally just a champ. Complete and utter domination of climbing hills. It can still go pretty fast and goes upwards of 7 miles an hour. The only thing that this does not excel at, and why I hate twin transmission, is turning. This thing cannot, like, live turn to save its life. Like, I'm holding down A, and this is like, my turning radius is significantly garbage. Like, it's just complete. I'm literally holding down D right now, and it's just not turning. But okay, it's turning a little bit. Across the trench, our front wheel catches. The trench fin helps a lot, actually, and we end up getting over. So easy. If we're on solid flat ground, it can turn. It's kind of okay. This is the best we have for turning. I mean, really, it's quite frankly abysmal, and I hate it so much. However, what we do have is instant on the nose neutral steering, which is insanely useful. But we can still go decently fast. One of the other issues I was worried about was switching transmission types, more weight and all that fun stuff. Wouldn't be able to go as fast, but we can still go almost 8 miles an hour in this thing. So it actually kind of ends up working. So we can stop, turn. Okay, well, we'll knock over that tree, whatever. But climbing these hills, I mean, climbing hills like this with the regular non-twin transmission was a complete nightmare. Climbing it with the twin transmission is practically not a problem, especially once we drop it down into first gear. We'll slow down quite a bit, but if you look at our gears on the top left, as long as we stay in like first or second gear, she just handles it like a champ. She just fucking goes right up on there. And it's excellent. Optimize your gears to turn with twin transmission. Yeah, so there was plenty of gear optimization that went into all of this. I found that the best was 5. I went with 4, I went with 3, I went with 3 minus third gear. I went with, trust me, I experimented with everything. I mean, I think you guys have to remember that it's been a full week since you guys last saw me working on this, and I assure you that every day since, I have been trying my best to fine-tune this and also make it look like the most badass tank you've ever fucking seen in your life. And I think it does. Honestly, I think I win on aesthetics. Maybe I'm biased, but this thing looks badass. It's mixed between a Churchill and a Centurion, but World War I, and I absolutely love it. You need like 8+ for twin or something? No, because I did experiment with more than that. I did experiment with like upwards of 6 gears, but also this is, not gears. I did experiment with setting this, to like 6 or 7, and you just don't get the power, you don't get the speed. You put it into third gear instantly, and then your engine instantly reaches max revs, and then you can't climb anything. So I found 5 to be my best personal combo, because then we kind of start losing, but it's not terrible. Actually, well, you know what? You may have actually been onto something there. I feel like there was, I know for a fact that I experimented with having like 6 or 7 set on that, and it didn't work for me. But, I mean, fuck, maybe I'm wrong. That's sort of why you guys are here. So today's stream, why did I bring any of you here today? We have to beat No Tanks Land. that we have to commit our final challenge. We have to christen this tank. Yeah, see, we're only reaching like 7 miles an hour. It's just not fast enough. 5, or I think what? Yeah, I set it on. 5. 5 ended up being my best ratio that I reached in terms of allowing me to go fast but still having good climbing, all that fun stuff. But today, we're not here for any of this. What we're here for is no tanks land. We have to christen our tank. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get out of here. Turn off the stream music. We're going to grab our tank, our final variant, the Centaur CTT 5 Mark 6. Also could just be called the Mark 6 because the CTT 5 only matters to the mechanics and the other guys. On the field, you would just probably ask for a Mark 6, which makes sense because they have Mark 4s and Mark 5s, which are coincidentally the already British tanks that are in service. But we have to do this now. This is why I've brought you all here today. So we're gonna go ahead and get some music going here because we're gonna need all the music we can get. We're gonna need all the inspiration and all of the hype. Are you guys ready? We're just gonna beat this. We're just gonna go. Time to pay some attention to my better half. I'll try. Oh, teabag, right at the best part. No, it's okay. It's okay. Teabag, don't worry. This will all be uploaded to YouTube. You'll have all this. You'll be able to see it. What kind of music should we go for here, guys? I'm thinking about... Ooh, Katusha would be fun. Here we go again. Let's hope. I know, you guys, we're cross your fingers, lads. We're going to do this. I think there's nothing better. We're going to have 4 allies with us, so we're not doing this alone. But we've got nothing left to lose and nothing left to do but to fucking charge, lads. We're going to have to get ourselves across first obstacle is going to be up the hill. That's going to be the first thing we'll have to do. We're already doing quite well, actually. Let me know how loud the music is, by the way. Ooh, we're lagging, but that's okay. We're already handling these bops quite well, actually. The trick, first of all, is going to be how many allies can we get with us, because having allies will help a lot. But also, can we climb up the last hill? What's going to stump us is the last hill, right before you get to the artillery. So far, so good. And we've got I've literally memorized these guys' locations just from beating this for so many times, but already climbing that first hill, we're doing good. We're doing good. We gotta find these fuckers. Where are they? Says he has locations memorized. There they are. Whoa. Found him. I lost him. This is one problem with the suspension system that I've gone with, is that we do bounce. Oh shit, our teammate took care of him. Hell yeah. Holy shit. There it is. Alright, I'm gonna teach you guys a little secret on this level. If you want to get your range, use the horizon and line the horizon up with your hash marks. Boom. So I lined up the horizon with my bottom hash mark, and that made it. If you're at this distance, very roughly, that's all you'll need to do. Let's turn this down. Oh, not all the way down. Turn this down. Let's keep going. Hold on. I do like the Halo Reach soundtrack. We're going to keep that going. Oh, this actually should have been... This is our charge music. Fuck yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. We've still got 2 guns, one on the right and one on the left. It looks like our AI is doing great. Our teammates... If the AI can manage to navigate the trenches with your design, then that's like a damn good design. Because that means it's AI-proof. Which, that's a huge... That's great. Huge point to you if you can get that. gonna tell our boys to fall in line here. Come to me, friends. Come to me. Turn, 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 bitch. Turn. There we go. No angle. Just come at this shit head on. Yes! Let's fucking go. Alright, we got this guy on the left who's gonna try to snipe us right as we crest this hill. But we also have to watch where we're going. Alright, just show up in a convoy. Get right behind me, lads. We're gonna hold our ground right here. Neutral steering will come in handy, especially for target acquisition. And even though we don't have powered traverse, might I mention, our turret still operates quickly. We are not at all like... This is not bad. Oh, little rough on the start, but we're getting there. First trench cleared. Checkpoint made. We have our second trench coming up here. Where is this guy? He's on the left. I know he is. Alright, we're going to have to... Yeah, see, this is what I don't like, is we're going to have to expose our sides to him in order to cross this next trench. Teammates are still with us? Yep. Can our teammates cross the trenches? Oh, fuck yeah, they can. Hell yeah. That's even better. If you can get your AI teammates to cross the trenches, holy shit. Moving up. Second trench cleared. Whoop, we're being shot at. Now, don't worry. Armor protection is definitely... I should have gone through that, but armor protection is good on this tank. A little higher. Especially if we're facing forward. I will say that if we're hit from the side, we are probably fucked. But from the front and from a decent angle, this thing's practically impenetrable. Much like a Churchill. It's very Churchill. This thing is practically a World War I Churchill. Our teammates are still able to follow us, except that guy might end up dying. Oh, I think that guy just got himself... No, he didn't! Holy shit! Whoa! This thing is even better than I thought it was. I'm not even gonna lie. This is performing far outside my expectations. We're doing amazing. We're getting shot at from the right. I expected this. So he's going to be way out there near the blimp, and we'll have to snipe him from all the way out here. He is... No, he's over here. He's like closer to the blimp. He was able to shoot at us, so he's... I think he's like right there. I'm gonna take a pot shot, but... Oh yeah, and our reload rate. That's another thing I should mention, is that we have so much ammo stored in the turret that our reload rate is actually amazing, even though our commander doubles as our loader, so we should get a penalty for that. But even with the penalty, this thing still reloads like a boss. Uh-oh. No. Change the music. Change the music. Change the music. Oh, this is some music and a half, but maybe not for this moment. Come on, boys. I've never had to get stuck in the mud before, so I did not realize just how much this fucks you over. Wow. Come on. Come on. Help me, ally. I don't think you can tow. That's a good thing they should add, is towing. Although, Hamish did say he would add engineering vehicles. Come on. This is so tense. Come on, you can do it. Oh, just barely? Oh, we're not making any progress on that anymore. Oh, God. Can we just power through it, maybe? Oh, no. No way. Fuck. Switch. Don't drive in that hole. No, don't drive in that hole. No, 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 no. Okay, fine. Go full force. Climb, climb, climb. Oh. Please? No. Oh, fuck. The mud, of all things. Oh, and you're stuck in the goddamn trench. But you're okay. Okay, we still have one. We still have hope. We still have one that can make it. Come on. Oh, come on. You can climb this. This is easy. This is cake. This is tea and crumpets. What the fuck do British people eat instead of... This is a fucking chip. This is fish and chips. Come on, this should be easy. I might have to come at it at an angle, possibly. No? Oh, no, she's got it. Yeah. As long as she stays in first gear, she's good. First or second gear, she can make it up these slopes. Oh, yes. All right, we've been set back, and we've lost pretty much all of our teammates. But this is not the end of the world. Oh, come on, baby. Come on, baby. On the final hill, you can make it. Get over that ledge. Yes. Crest, crest, crest. Yes. Holy sheesh. We're doing good. Did I use like 5 car engines, Dr. Torpedo? I wish, but no. That is unfortunately not in this game. Chrysler, though, we'll get in touch with Chrysler after this and we'll see what they can do for us. Oh, hold on. Let's increase our badass factor. There we go. Badass factor has been increased. Okay, we still have the gun on the right to worry about. And thankfully, we didn't get far enough to spawn the tanks, so we're not going to have to engage the tanks quite yet. But we've got this. We're going to go far right. Actually, going far right is the strategy anyways. I don't know why I went straight up the middle. No wonder I got stuck. Alright. Stop. Turn. Now, we are probably going to get RNG'd by artillery, knowing how this game functions, but let's just try not to think about that. Alright. We already know this thing is a master of trench clearing. Right as the arty's coming in, hold your breath! Oh, we're okay. First trench cleared. That was an easy one. First trench has been re-cleared. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. We're gonna have to stop. Turn. No, 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 not quite. Yes. There we go. I don't like not being able to turn on the move. I freaking hate twin transmission, but... Come on, friends. Come around. Stop. Turn. No, no, come to a full stop. Turn. Come forward. Yes. Huzzah. Look at that. Alright, where is he? I think I see him. He's up dead ahead. He's just over this hill. He's on the crest. Come on, baby. Wait, is he? That's him there, isn't it? I think that's him. Yeah, that's him, that's him. He's there! Target spotted. Tango down. Good shit. Take that, you stupid bitch. Alright, we've got the tanks, and then the boss battle, and then more hills to climb. But so far we're doing good. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on. First gear. Climb that shit, come on. Go, go, go! Slug it through! Yes. Woo! Steady now. We've reached the edge of the map. Don't fall into this pit on our left, or on our right. I don't even know my lefts from rights. This is, by the way, if you're ever looking to try to beat No Tanks Land, coming like all the way right here on the far right side of the map, this is like the only way to do it. If you try, you can try going far left, but it's gonna make getting to the end harder. And as you just saw, I tried going straight up the middle, and it's just not. It does not work. So your only bet is to do what I've done here and go on the far right. Every single time I've beaten No Tanks Land, this is how I did it. It was going on the right here, or like, you know, this right side like quadrant or third, because the map is kind of split into 3 like chunks. Go on the one on the far right. The enemy tanks should be coming in any second now. This little divot makes me nervous, but we should be able to handle it. Well, I was gonna say, especially if we come at it with an angle, but whatever. She's just gonna power through it, I guess. Fuck yeah. Yes! That is an impressive slope to climb! I'm amazed and impressed. Beyond belief. No tanks? Oh, I felt the game glitch for a second. No! Holy shit, we might not... Wait, are we gonna not have any enemy tanks to fight? Oh my god. Holy shit. We might have just fucking won this, like, just straight up. I think we kicked so much ass that the game was just like, you know what, man? You get this one, bro. Just take it. Take it and run with it, bro. Look at that. Trench fin for the rescue. Yes! Oh, friends. We may still have the boss battle, though. After the third trench? No, I've seen them spawn way fast. I've seen them spawn at this point. Or, sorry, I've seen them spawn way before that point. Like, by the time I'm at this part of the level, I've already killed the tanks because they would have spawned and I'd have to deal with them. Now, the boss fight, there is no guarantee that they haven't done the boss fight yet. We may still end up having to deal with that. Or they got stuck. They could have gotten stuck. That actually is a good... Oh! Okay, that definitely... We definitely just had some tanks spawn in now. I think the boss battle tanks have spawned. Yep, I see them on the horizon. Across this next trench. Excellent. There they are. Oh, these should be easy. The fucking Brattons. Uh-oh. A little higher. Now, we do have our allies who are stuck in the field, in the trenches, and they can still shoot. So they can help us, actually. It all is not lost. I led that way too far. Nope. Okay, well, they've just gone off and done their own thing. Oh, this guy. Oh, shit. Now, see, here's where we get nervous, because I could potentially get shot from 2 different angles here. Nope. A little high. Or, that was low, but we need to go a bit higher. Solid hit. That bouncing is just, it's a result of me having super stiff suspension here. So that's one of the benefits of actually going with the bogey suspension versus torsion bar like I did, is you don't get this bouncing as much. But like, this bouncing isn't terrible. It sucks, but it's not like the end of the world. Our teammates have already helped us. Gotten a kill. Yeah, these things are much easier to kill from the front. Boom! Easy. And that still speaks to the capabilities of this tank. That's not like a... We got a cop out on this one. I think we did it, friends. Come on, drop in first gear, drop in first gear. There you go. She might struggle at first, but if you drop her back in first gear, she can do it. Holy shit. Dude, fucking first try? Are we really about to first try this shit? Chat, hold my hand. Oh, hold on. Is there a guy back there? Yeah, there's still a guy back there. He could still snipe us. Come on, put her back in first. Climb, climb, climb. Yes. Put her back in first. First gear, come on. No, we lost momentum. That's not good. Stop. I want to hit this at an angle. Now go. This will be much better. Come on, drop it in first. Stop. Get out of third gear, idiot. Go to it in first. Hamish, if you ever end up seeing this, give us the goddamn option to manually switch gears, because this is bullshit. This is fucking stupid. Keep it in first. There you go. See, when she's in first gear, she can do it. Yes. Automatic transmissions definitely did not exist in World War I. And if they did, then fuck, wow. And how and why. Come on. Yes, look at this. She's taking these like a champ. We're already here. Boys, I would just like to thank all of you for being here on the first try. It's not even that, like, it's just that easy. We're just that good. Take the hill. Get our victory lap. Yes. History is being made. You guys are watching the winner of the P.R.E.B.A.G competition beat No Tank's Land for the first time. Untested. This tank has been unchristened, and here you all are to witness it yourselves. This is history. This is everything we've been working for. Everything we've been working towards. All the suffering. Everything we've ever been through. All the pain of this past week. Don't fall in this hole. Please don't fall in this hole. You're about to fall in the hole. That's okay. We can still shoot. No, we still gotta kill one more. Where it at, though? All the way out there. Can we snipe? No, turret. No. Damn, I was really hoping to sync that with the music, but that's okay. We'll just get down and go around. Unless, actually, we might be able to... Nope. We're gonna have to go down there and hit him mano-y-mano. Get up close and personal. And by up close and personal, I mean just get him from a different angle, but stay just this far away. Oh, that's a cannon. A little higher. A little lower. Little... what? There's a tank back there. You can see him. He's trying to get up. Yeah, the tank's got stuck. Lol. You guys suck. What the fuck? How am I not hitting this? Oh, come on. After all this is how it ends? What? That was too high? Huh? Yes! Oh, what? It's still not over? Oh, fuck's sake. Is that Battlefield 1 music? Yes, it is. Of course it is. The Battlefield 1 soundtrack bangs so hard. Oh yeah, those are the tanks. Yeah, they're still alive. Oh, come on now. You can do this. We'll just have to peek, and then... yeah! Woo! That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you beat No Tanks Land. First try. It's not that hard. All you have to do is just design the best fucking tank that's ever been conceived. Hold on, we need the celebration music. Celebration, celebration, celebration. Congratulations, everybody. We did it. What's the good? What's the good? What's good? This is actually, this is fine. This is fine celebratory music. We did it, everybody. We did it. We got the stripes. We got a lot of kills. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We killed a lot of fools. Okay, actually, we can still run around. Let's go kill those other tanks. Fuck these guys. Can we snipe them? Hey, bitch. A little too high. A little too high. A little too high. We'll go for this one shot. Oh, good hit. We'll kill this guy, we'll leave, I promise. A little too high. A little too low. Yeah, I definitely don't think the shaking helps too much. Boom. Let's switch to A.P.A.G. See if that helps at all. I don't think it will, but... oh, wow. One more. One more. Shaking like a bug, yeah. Hey! Is a shaking a bug? Oh, is it? That's good. I mean, yeah, I reckon that it would be, but also it is a result of the characteristics of the tank having the dampening and all that be set to like 0. We did it! And we can kill tanks. Yeah, so this thing is, I mean, it's great. Can you still spawn stuff in the things? No, but you can spawn stuff in the sandbox. But that's it, man. The CTT-5 Mark 6. It's the ultimate World War I tank. I'm genuinely super confident in this design. I think it looks amazing. I think it's obviously capable. And it can take out pretty much anything you can throw against it. CTT-5 Mark 6. This is our tank. So it's got a couple of things. So now that we've beaten No Tanks Land, you know, holy shit. We can explain a little bit more about the lore of this tank as I imagine it. So I imagine this tank to be a complete reimagining of what the tank is supposed to do, right? The role of a tank. Whereas instead of being just this big lumbering hunk of steel, don't worry, stream, there are still plans. Even though I didn't expect to beat it first try, I was so confident in my design, I did expect to beat it pretty quickly. So I do have plans. We have a little fun not interactive, actually, it's not interactive at all, but we have a fun little activity that I'll have planned after this. And it'll kind of tie into what I'm explaining here, in that I always wanted this tank to be the next step in the evolution of tank design. Dr. Torpedo, you missed everything, buddy. You literally missed like the whole... Okay. What the purpose of this tank is not to be a big lumbering hunk of steel that just rolls across the land. It's like, ah, yeah, just let the tank go and whatever. What I imagine with this tank is a world in which the infantry and tanks can work much more closely together. Far, far more closely together. So having like, you have a squad of infantry that has like their own tank that they work with. Now, obviously, you can't have one tank for every squad of infantry, but the idea would be to have much more of these on the field. So platoons, you know, an entire platoon of infantry can have like 2 or 3 of these things. And the idea is to turn the tank into a tool, something like the bayonet or the machine gun, you know, something that a squad can carry with them and utilize effectively. And so as such, I have caked this thing in storage, right? So that the infantry that accompanies this tank can throw things in here like grenades or machine guns or ammunition and stuff. So the infantry that will pretty much constantly be accompanying the tank, or more specifically the tank that will constantly accompany the infantry, can also act as some carriage for a lot of the infantry's supplies, ammo and things like that. Stowage on the turrets and everything, obviously, so infantry can hop up on the back deck and store, again, grenades, machine guns. It can be the kind of thing where, like, if your machine gunner is too tired of carrying his machine gun, his, you know, Lewis gun or whatever, just throw it in one of these bins. And then when one of you need your Lewis gun, oh, hey, go run over to the tank and grab your Lewis gun and come back and put down some suppressive fire. Also, the idea of having machine guns. The driver has a machine gun, this guy's a machine gun, the commander has a machine gun, so this thing can put down suppressive fire. It's still very much, you know, if you're thinking about crossing no man's land, the idea being is that infantry can still use this for cover, and this can keep enemies at front at bay, and infantry can work with the tank to sustain a push. So it's very much, I want the tank to be more so a tool. And I imagine a lot of really cool concepts, like these strips on the back here, these fenders now have a purpose of, maybe you can have infantry lay down on top of these fenders and use like deploy a machine gun on here, and they can fire off to the side. So you can imagine like 2 infantrymen lying down on the sides here, preventing or supplying or whatever, supporting fire on, you know, in a much larger cone. You've got the independently rotating turret, and it's only a 3-man crew. I downgraded to the 3-man, so we've got the driver, the loader, and the commander, who climbs in through his commander's hatch here. And so you have so much infantry now, because you've now taken the Mark V, which is a fucking 8-man crew, and you've shrunk it down to a 3-man crew, so you have the men to crew these things for sure. It's smaller than a Mark V, so it's probably going to be cheaper to produce, so you can have more of these on the field than a Mark V. It's got the same engine as the Mark V, it's got a Hotchkiss gun, which is already in service. Like, you know, this thing, I really like the idea of this tank. Yeah, a universal infantry tank. Yeah, exactly. Almost to that degree. And I think if you're in World War I, this is definitely something that like somebody would come up with, especially because you're trying to cross the trenches of no man's land, right? You need something that can get you across that. And having a tank like this, I think, would be perfect for this sort of little thing. So, I'm going to go into change the music a little bit. Wait, is this the music that I think it is? This might be the... Yeah, it is. No, we don't want that. Don't worry about that. That's just the sounds of alarms. I have the other Battle Block Theater. Yeah, here we go. This one. So that was the idea behind this tank. And with that, let's see if I can add a window here. As you know, for P.R.E.B.A.G, you have to submit your sales pitch, right? And with the sales pitch comes your pictures. You have to have pictures. Could also be the chassis for mobile artillery and tank destroyers. Yeah, exactly. You know, it can be, you can evolve it into whatever you want. But also, if I try to add window capture, I suppose, pictures. That's not how you spell pictures. Pictures. Photos. Try that. Does that come through? Is it because it's full screen? Oh, there we go. Well, that's my desktop, but yeah, I guess that works. Yeah, that works. If I maximize this, nah, okay, well you can see it. Oh no, that's just frozen. All right, well yeah. So you have to make your pictures. So I guess this kind of already spoils it, but yeah, I had the idea of making my little my little pictures of the tank in testing, right? You see all the people on the subreddit, they do the same thing where they upload like their edited pictures of their tank being like in use. Well, we're just gonna have to go to I'm just gonna have to add a desktop capture because it's whatever. Display capture. Yeah, add existing, this one. Yoink. There we go. So now you guys can see just straight up my window. And if I full screen this, there you go. Same effect. Drag this down here. There we go. So I've been photo editing. Hold on. Sorry, I'm juggling like two different things right now. Did you ever play Total Tank Simulator and did you like it or not? Total Tank Simulator, I think if that's the one that I'm thinking of, it was all right. Let's shrink you guys down a little bit. And I'm gonna bring me back. I'm way over here. Oh wait, no, yeah. Hi, it's me. Hello. So I had these ideas for photos, and this is where this part comes in, because today, and for the last bit of the stream, we're gonna make one of these. I'm gonna show you guys how I did it, and just kind of go through what we can chat. You can ask questions about the design and all that. But I made these little photos that show. This is like it in the factory. We've got the Centaur Mark II and everything. I stole this from, if you think of America. Yeah, graphic design, I know, right? It's crazy. It's an insane concept. I've never even, how does that even work? I yoinked these from, if you've ever seen like, it's American World War II style of these photos where they have like the T-20 or the early Shermans and stuff that were in testing, and they add this little bar on the bottom for showing like the tests and everything. And so that's the format that I yoinked, even though this is Britain, but whatever. But I was doing a lot of these, so I did, side views and everything. And the ones that I'm the most proud of are some of the ones of testing on the field. This is the one that I posted yesterday as my teaser for this stream. But look at this. This is what I imagined. I wanted to kind of demonstrate what I'm thinking about when I say, working closely with infantry. And so I made this photo here, which is literally, Centaur. It's a CTCT or CCTT for machine gunner trials, and it's the Mark 6 tank with the CTT4 transmission, left side view just cause. But you got your boys, lying down on the fenders and doing with machine gun positions. So you can imagine this working in a real scenario, especially during World War I. I don't know if a tank like this would have much merit in today's world, or maybe in World War II it might. But in World War I think a concept like this, especially when they were doing all sorts of wacky shit in World War I think a concept like this would definitely have come up and also would have worked. So I've got this one. This is probably my favorite. This is probably my favorite one that I've made. Suspension testing, so it's in there, and you got your boy right here, and you got this guy. I think this guy looks the best. I nailed the perspective on him. He's close to camera, so he's huge. You got these guys back here too. These guys, you can barely see him. It doesn't really matter. But this is probably one of my favorite ones that I did. Did this one. This one could use some work. These guys are they look a little off. I think I should have made them smaller and darker. I think they don't quite match. All the ones that I was doing in No Tanks Land, that was all too dark, so it didn't quite work. This is a Mark 5 Star with the transmission number 3. This clutch braking back when I was still working with clutch braking. Getting stuck in the trenches. As a reference to all the troubles I was having last week. Put these on the lore posting chat. Yeah, I could probably do that. I've created a little bit of lore with the sprocket. Here it is arriving and testing. So I imagine this is when like it first is brought out onto the field and you've got all the people looking at it and like, oh, what the fuck is this? So this is the Mark IV, so you can see all the different variants that I was testing with. These guys, this looks terrible with these guys here. They're too bright on the background. I need to darken them up because No Tanks Land is just such a dark level. I didn't account for that, but testing with infantry, again, you can imagine, having 2 or 3 of these tanks rolling out with like, 30 or 40 guys, and the squad leaders and platoon leaders are in active communication with the tanks and using them as they are. Crossing trenches, no infantry there, and then these are all my source photos that I was using, and you can see all the I open the thing here, all the original pictures that I was taking, and then the final actual edit that I had done with them. Today, chat, I'm gonna make one with you. Actually, I have 2, but we could end up only making 1. It depends on how much time we have. I'm starving, so I might end up ending stream. We've been going for a little while now. How long have we been going? About an hour. Actually, oh, never mind. It updated. An hour and a quarter. So yeah, we can go. We can probably make one or two. So I have two photos that we can fuck with today. We have this one, and both are of the most recent one, the Mark 6. So we got this photo here that I took, which is it got stuck climbing up a hill. No big deal, but I've got some ideas for something like that. And then we have another one reversing up a hill. Where's the picture that I did with that? Where the hell is it? Where did I put it? Do I not have reversing? Oh, here we go. Reversing up a hill. It's literally called reversing up a hill test. So this one, I imagine reversing up a hill. I imagine a couple guys standing like up here on the tree line and stuff. I think that would be kind of cool. And this is the Mark 6. You can tell because it's got the little independent turret on top for the commander. But I think the first one we're going to mess with is the stuck up a hill. I think this one we can do. So I'll kind of show you guys my process. I use this. For any of you who are looking to do stuff like this, this is what I use. It's a little thing called Pixel R. Shut up, honey. I don't give a shit about you. I'm actually going to try to record the window because if I record my whole desktop, then you guys can see like notifications and stuff. We don't want that. There we go. And now full screen. You guys can see it. There we go. So this is called Pixel R. It's pretty interesting. I'm sorry, chat is catching up on YouTube at the moment. Or maybe it's just people are just okay. Yeah, okay. Chat updated. It was frozen for a second, then started updating. I was like, are people just all of a sudden spamming messages, or is chat freaking out? But no. So if any of you want to do stuff like this, this is great. If you don't have to download Photoshop or anything wacky, like this is it's free. It's on the web. This is what I use to make thumbnails and stuff, and it's pretty good. So we'll go to Advanced Editor. There's not much different between the Quick and Easy one and the Advanced Editor, but so we'll go ahead and open it, and you can see all my previous projects that I've done with this. We will do the stuck up a hill, and we'll open this up. So now we have our photo. So unfortunately with ads, this is gonna all taken up by an ad, but whatever. We don't ad blocker for the win. Push some guys with shovels. That actually could be fun. What's your favorite tank from World War I that you've never seen? Chris by Design. It's a real good YouTube channel about swings, tanks, interesting things that fill Tank Nevada. I don't understand half of what you just said, JJ Cause, but my favorite World War I tank is probably, I don't know, like World War I tanks are kind of meh. Probably the A7V, just because the thing looks fucking crazy. It's either the A7V or the Mark IV, just because I like the idea of a land ship. I think land ships are kind of a really fun and wacky concept. If we actually take my window, I'm just gonna straight do that, and then hide the game capture behind it. Here we go. So that way it's just like that. It's just the black window, and then you guys get to see what I'm working with here. Try to balance that a bit better, so that way I'm not blocking any of the tools and stuff. You guys can kind of see how I'm doing it. There we go. And chat, you're not blocking anything. You know, actually, yeah, chat, you're legit not blocking anything, so I can keep you this big. So the first thing I do whenever I start any of these with these photos is, well, firstly, this is my background. First, I want to unlock it because I want to be able to edit this. I don't want to shrink it or anything, but I do want to be able to fuck with it. So first things, the very first thing we'll do is we'll select our layer, and we will actually, whoa. Is anyone else seeing the audio, the visual glitches? I think I am. Actually, we're gonna back out because if we go to one of my original ones, here we've got all the layers for all of the for this stuff. We actually want to keep this, so we're actually gonna just work off of this. So get rid of all these layers. Get rid of these guys. We'll hide them in case we want to use them for something later. Get that. So we will, yeah, we'll delete this, and delete that. Okay, so then we'll just add this image in. So we'll take a new image, and we'll add in you will add in your mom. No, stuck up a hill. There we go. Have a tanker about the hatch and talk to a guy. Yeah, that's a cool one too, actually. We could do that for reversing up a hill, maybe. That would be fun. So let's reshape this so that it is fitting in our little window. It doesn't really matter a whole lot, but we're gonna do that. So step one of any of these, I'll first drag this all the way down. Step one is to drag this all the way down. Step two, but also really step one. Select this layer, and we're going to go into our sponge and color. And first things first, we are going to decrease the saturation mega hard time. Make our brush freaking huge, even bigger than that. Are you guys seeing? I'm getting like little visual glitches. I don't think you guys are getting that though, thankfully. Strength, we're going to boost this up to like 60 or something. That's usually what I've been using. And by decreasing saturation, I mean, literally what this is just make it black and white. So we'll take our brush here. Actually, we need to make the hardness, softness 0. Make it just a hard circle. And literally just take this. I usually do like 1 or 2 passes. You can do 3 if you want. I think 2 gets a pretty good one, but we'll go for 1 more since that red there is still kind of on there. I mean, bam, already you have black and white. So that's, if you want something black and white, go for that if that's the aesthetic you're going for. I do kind of like that, the yellowy orange, like burnt out photo aesthetic, so I like to do that. So then we go over to temperature and we increase that. And that will make it yellow. So we'll do about 1 pass. I say yellow. We'll make it warmer, the color. It'll warm up the color. We'll do probably a 2nd pass. I think I usually do 2 or 3 passes of this to make it look out as yellow as I want. That might be a little too yellow. Nah, actually I do like that. I think that's actually a good amount of yellow. Or I say yellow. I think that's a good temperature. Because those photos were like pretty warm, so to speak. In the first hour and a half I've been streaming, let me take my first sip of water. Wowie. By the way, I would like it to be known that I know the last couple things that I've done on this channel I've been streaming. I'm not converting to a stream-only channel. This whole pre-bag thing will be turned into a video, so, you know, that's going to be that. And also, I have video ideas that I'm going to pick back up on. In fact, there'll probably be, after this stream, there probably won't be another stream for quite a while, and I'll go back to kind of doing more video-focused stuff. So, if you're worried about any of that, don't worry. I'm not trying to convert fully to one or the other. I would like to dabble in both. And I can't really work on videos and stream at the same time. I mean, technically I could, but it's a lot of work. So now that we've done that, we have our little, I have this, which is a thing that I found on the internet. I literally just Googled like, I think I just Googled like old photo effect. If I open a new tab, do you guys see it? Yeah, you do. I think I literally just Googled like old photo texture. And you can find something like this online pretty easily, and then just cut out the background. I think, what's the one I ended up using one that was like semi-transparent. A lot of these ones that are like somewhat transparent are a lot easier to work with. And you just kind of cut it out and fine tune it to what like you're looking for. Something like this might be kind of cool. So we'll, there we go. We will throw this in here. And if we just go to cutout, magic cutout, and we'll just try this. Yeah, that didn't really work. Well, yeah, this one is really weird, actually. I should not have picked this one, but you kind of get the gist. You can take something like that, and you can end up boiling it down to its smaller components. If you can find a PNG, like one that's already transparent, go for it. That's awesome. But a lot of times they're not. So you have these little dots effects that I like, so I'll just add these to it. We'll unlock the aspect ratio there so that I can really stretch it and make it what I want. And so we can add that. So that's the kind of the film grain effect. And then we have this, which are some effects that I again stole from the internet. And with the way layering works, especially on this website, it's gonna keep every time I click, it's gonna keep selecting this layer. So I'm just gonna hide it for now, and we're gonna work on one layer at a time. This layer though, these are just like smudges on the photo, you know, of it being old and all that. You can place these however you want, you can stretch them. I think it's one of the cool things about this is that no matter how you stretch it or shrink it or whatever, it kind of look like it still looks pretty authentic, especially if you get 2 of them in there. And you can throw like some like here, and like that just looks, you know, it just looks like an old photo with some wear and tear. Especially have it like covering stuff, like it just makes it feel more authentic and more randomly placed. So I kind of like that. I like that kind of stuff. I definitely actually do think we want to take the background here. I do actually think we want to extend it to the full size of our image here. And that hasn't changed it too much. But we can keep those placed there. But now we get to the fun part. And we already have, you know, we have the our layers here of the text and the little testing thing down here. So we'll add that on later, but we'll keep it hidden for now. because we don't need it right now. What we want to do is we want to add people into this now. So I do like that idea of maybe having a guy poking up out of the hatch, or do with the shovel. We could do both, actually. We could do a guy peeking up out of the hatch, and he's looking at a dude with the shovel trying to dig him out. So we are going to open a new tab, and it all starts with let's just find some images. So let's just find World War I British soldier with shovel. I mean, fuck it, right? Can't get any worse than that. Immediately I see a guy with a knife, which is not what I searched for. And this is forgotten weapons, so also not really what I searched for. This is... nobody has a shovel here. That is a modern British soldier with a shovel, I believe. Or modern American soldier. That's not quite what we want. We want somebody, a guy who is, you know, stuck... oh, that's not horrific. And this will get us related images of what we want. And then we also need to get our guy peeking up out of the hatch. This guy's pretty cool, but he's not British, though, it doesn't look like. We want to make sure that we get somebody who's British as well. We definitely don't want a German soldier to be digging out our British tank. And this is probably one of the hardest parts of honestly the whole process, is trying to find a good photo to blend in, because you want to consider everything. You want to consider the perspective of your original photo, and we'll make sure you get it right. So that's pretty close to what we want, actually. That's I think we're on the right track finally. Oh yeah, I'm realizing now that the image is slightly cut off, but you guys, oh wait, you literally can't even see it. Hold on. That I think this is, I thought that was only in Far Cry 5, but man, I guess I was proven wrong, huh? British soldier. Maybe try digging out tank, or bayonet, backpack, folding shovel, Lee Enfield. Nah, I have enough Lee Enfields in my life. I don't need more. We have some anime here. Cringe as fuck. Oh, is that what that was used for? That actually makes so much sense. You can use the shovel as a... ah, that's pretty awesome. Thank you, anime. You taught me something. I never would have expected that. I feel like if you had a 3D model or something along those lines, it would be better. 3D model is a little... I mean, that's... oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. This is good. This is quite nice. Can we open image in new tab? This is not terrible at all. Not horrendous. So... oh, these look like Germans, though. Is that helmet? That's a German helmet. You think anyone would notice? We will keep this. We're gonna copy this and we're gonna throw it into our... we're gonna throw it into our image. Can we imagine these guys? See, I think this one could actually work quite well. I think that actually might be that so far is the best one we have. But that's not really saying too much. World War I soldier. I guess digging is probably what I would have wanted to search. Yeah, this is going to be much closer to what we're looking for. That's not horrendous. Replace the helmet. Yeah, you could replace the helmet, but that's a little too much. That's a little too much work. Am I right, lads? Am I right or am I right? This is not bad. That's actually pretty good. This is also really good. And look at the resolution on that. That's high quality too. That's nice. We might actually want this one. Let's take this one. I can already see the perspective and everything lining up quite well. Throw this in here as well. Yeah, I see. I like this too because it's very high quality, or very high resolution. So we'll have a lot of detail in our character. Now the other thing to consider though is that this photo has a lot of grain on it, and that grain is going to translate to whoever we end up cutting out. Whereas this one is pixelated once you zoom in, but when you zoom out, it blends quite well. So it's going to be tough if we end up doing this one to do a guy, or to make it look good. But I think once we add over all of our other effects of like the distortion and the wear and tear and stuff, I think that will end up cleaning that up a little bit. I think simply because this one is German. Let's put this one away for now, and let's experiment with this one. I think I like this one. I think there's a lot of promise here. So first things first is we have to pick who we're going to cut out. And you want to find somebody who, like, you can see there, because I imagine him being, like, down here on the bottom left, right here, digging up at the back left track of the tank. So we need someone who's very exposed all the way, and who can see their whole body, they're not blocked by anything. And this guy looks like our best candidate by far. So first things first, before we cut him out at all, we are going to give him the same treatment that we gave our original image. We're going to do saturation, decrease, and we have our brush and everything. So we're just going to make this true black and white. Go over it with a couple passes until it's full black and white. And I think this image should already be black and white, because that's how this works. Temperature, and we'll give it enough passes to where it looks like it fits with our image. I think one more. Yeah, there we go. Even if you have a black and white photo, it's still good to bring the saturation all the way down to true black and white, so that way when you add your temperature back, it is perfect in line with what your background image already has. So then we want to go for our cutout, and we could just do a really loose, we're going to do add. So instead of remove, because if we have remove selected, whatever we cut out it's going to take that away. We don't want to take it away. We want him to be the only thing left. So we're going to do add to mask. And we're just gonna loosely cut him out. This does not have to be perfect or even like that good. Just kind of loosely get rid of everything else in the photo. We'll go ahead and apply the mask. So that way, even if we Control Z, we can't bring it back. Once you hit apply mask, like that's it. And now he's here. So I imagine him, and then we can roughly place him in the photo. I imagine him, actually, no, yeah, he would be like this. I imagine him down here. We can shrink him down so that the perspective is right. I imagine him being like down here. I think that looks great. I think that actually works quite well. Only two issues. First of all is he'll have to be behind the tank, but I can show you how to do that too. And secondly is obviously we have to perfect the rest of this cutout. So I'm going to hide this, and then we're just going to cut him out. So we're going to go back to our cut tool. This time we're going to do draw and remove as well. And we're just going to give him the little, I don't keep my brush at full hardness, because then it's just straight pixels, and that becomes a little too precise. I kind of like having the softer brush. I think it was at 20% before, so that way you can kind of just feather it a little bit and just kind of get perfect how you want. Because if you have too many hard edges on it, it doesn't look quite natural. It can look a little bit weird. And always make sure you tippy tap with this, because if you try to do the whole thing in one go and then you fuck up and you undo, you have to bring back all the other previous work. So we'll just kind of tippy toe around it a little bit. Click, 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 click. Kind of do a super rough cutout. You can always fine tune it later. Make sure we clip inside his hat is still there. Yeah. We'll get rid of his hand a little bit here. Soften up his hand. That looks good. And you could cut out between his legs, but I don't think we're gonna need to for this. So we'll go ahead and apply that, because I'm confident that's a really good cutout. And now he's pretty much in our image. Thing we can do to really immerse him in the scene though is you can see his leg here is in front of the tank, but we can fix that. So this is a pretty easy thing. The whole thing with Photoshop, I've never taken any Photoshop courses. I've never done anything. This is literally this is just me using common sense of all Photoshopping is just layers. It's just taking stuff and putting stuff on top of other stuff. And all of these other buttons with saturation and all that, it's just through me fucking around. So yeah, get this website. Yeah, Stube is right. For something that's free and it's a web browser, you don't have to download anything or sign up for anything or make an account. This is very cool. I have this bookmark. This is how I make all my thumbnails. This is a great little tool if you're looking to get into photo editing or just fuck around. And oops, sorry. So knowing that everything is just layers, we're going to Control C, Control V. So we're going to create a second version of our tank. So I've got two different layers, but they're both the exact same. If I shrink, you can see it's just the same thing, but copied. And so we're going to hide the one on the bottom and take our copy and take our boy. So we definitely want this to be in front of him. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a cutout. We're going to do add. So this is the only thing we want remaining after we cut it out. And we're just going to color around his leg, where we want the tank to overlap with him. I think that's pretty good. So now that's the only thing left. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that because I think that is a good mask. Now we take this and put this over top of him. And then now we cut out the parts that are overlapping too much. So we have remove now. So now we cut this out and we have to find our little man underneath the image here. Get rid of all this. This is all a little too much. I was a little too generous with my adding this mask. Get rid of all this crap. Get rid of all that. That's useless. That's stupid. That's pointless. And then all we're left with is the little back of our tank. We'll hit apply, because I'm confident in that. And as long as we don't move this piece around somewhere else in the image, as long as we keep it exactly where it was when we originally copied this photo, we put the old layer back, boom, it lines up perfect. So this is technically, this is technically a separate piece, but if we just leave it there, it blends in great. And now it looks like he's kind of slightly behind. Now it looks like he's behind the tank. And like something simple, like that's a super easy effect to create. All you do is just duplicate your background, cut out that one little bit, and then layer it on top of your dude. But such a simple effect has such an immense impact on really selling the scene and really selling that, like, this isn't Photoshop, this dude is really here. And it's something like that. It's such a simple effect to create, and it has such a amazing effect. We're moving into the Just Cause 3 soundtrack now. Maybe we don't quite want that. Just Cause 3 is fantastic, though. Great game. I'd love to play it at some point. Don't I have... Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, so something like that is super easy. And you can do that with anyone. So now we can get our dude. Let's have our little dude sticking up out of the hatch of the tank, actually. I think that could be cool. So let's see where we can get a second fella to stick up out of our tank. Did I just close out of that? Did I open a new tab? No, okay. Open a new tab. So let's find, I don't know, British World War I tank crewman? British World War I tank crewman? We'll see what that gets us. There's got to be another image of, oh, well, that's not really what we want. We don't want anything that's not black and white. This image, you can see this is an image that I already yoinked. This is cool. There's a lot of these cool photos. I thought about trying to image or trying to photo edit one of the, like a photo like this in there where it's like my tank and then all the dudes like standing next to it or standing around it. I kind of wanted to try something like that, but I don't know. I think this is just a little too complicated. Slightly too complicated. So we can get something like this. That's a 3D model that we don't want. We don't care about 3D models because either way we're working in 2D, so to speak. So that doesn't matter. And honestly, we might end up having to pull a World War II crewman, but East German lieutenant, yeah, definitely don't want to yoink that. This could be good. This guy could work masterfully. No, we don't want that. We want something of a guy kind of sitting. That's close, but no cigar. That's also a wrong perspective. That's top down. We don't really want top down. We want... This is not bad, but this is Russia, Germany, USA, Britain. Oh, these are Italian boys. I should have recognized the helmets immediately. British uniforms didn't change that much between World War I and World War II, right? Because we might not be able to find... This is not bad, actually. Are these guys Germans? I can't tell. But this guy, this might not be bad. Engel Panzer tank. You see, I'm wondering if is this a British tank that was captured by Germans? Gotta say, this is inspiring me to do stuff. Thank you guys. Yeah, I would not call myself a Photoshop master or anything, but again, it's pretty easy. It's all just layers. It's all just putting stuff on top of each other. I think we can probably use this image. I think this is pretty okay. If anything, I mean, they pretty much look already like the guy who's already back here. But I think we could get this guy sitting halfway up out of our tank. He's kind of already kneeling. He's kind of already got, you can imagine his hand like inside the hatch of that looking, grabbing like the stick or grabbing the levers of the tank or something. Like you could imagine that working. So I think we're gonna try him. So first things first, before you do anything, because if you do, I'll show you guys what happens if you cut out before. So if we grab our image, and we're gonna hide everything else because we don't, just so that we can work on this alone. Yoink, I think that's good. Oh yeah, we can also put these guys in the image somewhere if we so desire. These guys I've already cut out. So if you try to cut your boys out, we'll just draw our mask here. So if we, oh, I didn't mean to cut that out, sorry. I meant to add. So if we just like roughly cut our boy out here and just give him like, yeah, something lazy like that. I'm just doing this for demonstration so I can show you guys. If you do that and then you try to saturate, like take your temperature, decrease, and then saturate, you'll notice that a lot of our original, like what we were having there, is starting to come back. I don't know why it's reappearing like that. That's a little bit weird. I think because I didn't apply the mask. Let's apply the mask. So if I apply the mask and then I try to like more carefully cut him out, you know, maybe like do a little bit of this, trying to cut out his head roughly. Okay, and then let's say I hit apply or whatever, and then you try to do your saturation. You try to increase temperature. You'll notice you start getting, it starts coming back. It starts, the parts that you originally like cut out are starting to come back. So you don't want to cut your thing out and then start fucking with the black and white versus all that, because then that's gonna happen. So you want to recolor your image before you before you start cutting stuff out. So before we've even cut anything out, and I'm already of course now having to do that, this is all the way back at the top. So bring this way down. Definitely German. They could have new uniforms. I'm not a World War I expert and nobody else cares. This is yeah, it's definitely Ingo Panzerauto tank. 1970 something. What? No freaking way. No, I doubt it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. This will satisfy our needs. So saturation. So just to make sure that we're on the same playing field, I still like to saturate everything to make sure it's still true black and white. And it definitely is. Temperature increase again, and then make it, we usually do, I think, 3 passes. So that's 2 and then 3. So now it's our orange that we like, and it does blend in quite well with the background, so that works. And then we will cut out this, boys. It's an alternate reality, yeah. They just stole the uniforms, it's fine. Maybe we can put like a British tanker beret on him and make it, nah, it doesn't matter. My only worry is that he is kind of going to be like front center of the photo, so he actually is kind of somebody that we should not fuck up, that should not be inaccurate, but whatever. So we're going to cut him out roughly, super rough, because his second half is probably likely not going to survive this process. Apply that, and then we'll go to draw, and then keep remove, and then we will dip and dot. Again, clicks and clicks, dip and dots, because in that way, what also this website does really well is it tracks all your stuff. So if you're like, oh shit, I want to go back to before I did any of that, you can just click on something, and then it just goes all the way back. And then you can hit Y, or you can go back all the way down and click on it, and then it brings it all back. So it's pretty cool. I'm gonna bring this back again so you guys can see some of the tools that I'm using on the left. Gotta keep chat up as well. A lot of things to keep track of. I'm getting better at this whole streaming thing, that's for sure. Cut out his shoulders. And again, just something rough. It does not have to be perfect. That's the thing, is like, that's why I would not say I'm good at Photoshop, because all my shit is rough. I just do not have the time, especially if you're making thumbnails, because like the thumbnail, it gets shrunken down to like a, 800 by 400 image, so it's like, nobody's gonna fucking see all the individual, oh, his arm is, you can see his elbow is missing because of the way he cut it out. It's like, no, like nobody's gonna fucking see that. Nobody's gonna care about it. And also, moments like this is why you have a softer brush, so you can kind of nip at these little edges without like hard cutting something off and making it look unnatural. So that's always why I like to keep my brush at like a 20% or something. So you can kind of like softly just kind of come at this, and then you're not accidentally deleting like his shoulder. So that works. We'll apply that, boink. And then we'll have to do something similar with the whole layering of stuff. Put him in there. And we'll have to shrink him down, because again, he's kind of like in here. So imagine this photo's been taken from this perspective. So he would probably be like in here. You think like that, maybe? Something like that? He'd have to be bigger if he's blocking the cannon. That's another piece of this to get really hard, is perspective. Imagine he'd be in there like that, maybe. That's not terrible. We can always change the scale a little bit. I'll just not hit apply mask so that we can always control Z out of it, but otherwise I think that could work. And we can do that by, there's 2 ways we can do this. We can either cut off his second half and kind of like get him in there, or we can cut out the tank and have it cover him. I think we're going to cut him a little bit for this. So I think we're going to keep this image here. We're going to start cutting out his legs a little bit. He could stand on the hill. He could in the background. See, I'd want like a group of officers doing that though, like stand in the background. Imagine. That looks so wonky. Oh no, I've done the thing where my cursor changes into like the scroll wheel. No, whatever. That's just gonna. If that bothers you guys, then you guys are gonna have to. You're gonna have to work with that because that's how it is. See that's that's not horrible. It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look. If you squint, it's not bad. What if we flip him? I don't know why, but no, flipping him would not. Actually, flipping him might be kind of cool. That's actually not horrible. He looks too small, but he also like. If I make him any bigger, then he looks a little bit too big, maybe. That's not terrible. That's not horrendous. We try to go back to the cutout here and cut out more of it. I thought I saw a bit more of his leg. Get rid of all that. That's not horrendous. We might still have to cut out some bits of the tank and put them in front of him, like the periscopes and such. Might still have to sit in front of him. I think that's what we're missing for this effect to be truly complete. He needs to be a bit skinnier because this is the hatch we're working with, so he needs to be able to fit like in the hatch, right? Like that. And it doesn't matter how much of his torso is sticking out. We can just imagine that his legs are in there. That's not horrible. That's not terrible. I've done worse. I have other pictures that are way worse than that. And this guy looks a little out of place now because the differing quality of these two pictures. But again, see, that's the other great part about this type of stuff is once you throw these in, like you can have these masks like all of your weird, just like, oh, it's just an old photo, so it's hard to like, you can't tell. Like you can use these to kind of cover up your mistakes and your bits. And once you add all of the other stuff back on, you add your film grain. I say film grain, but yeah, you add your grain back. You add all this stuff back. Oh yeah, we had that hidden. Once you add all that back, it from far away, it starts to look not bad at all. The hatch needs to look open. That might be too complicated of an effect for me, or at least that might take too long. Because then we'd have to cut out the hatches and then we'd have to rotate them probably, or at least create some kind of thing. But I think if you have the distortion of the photo kind of blocking this kind of stuff, I think this helps a lot more. I think once you do that, and you know, again, it's all just layers. Everything, layers, layers, layers. It's all just layers. So I think with that knowledge in mind, just for the sake of it, let's just fuck it and do our little let's do our little thing. Either I'm gonna be brave here and I'm gonna go ahead and apply this cutout and I'm gonna finalize this because I think he looks all right. I don't think we need to add or take away any more of him. So apply mask, that's no longer undoable. So this is now our image. This is what we have. If we want to redo this, we'll have to cut him out again, but I think that's okay. I think he looks okay. And so now we want to take him where he's going to be roughly. Take our copy, go into our cutout and go into add. So this is the only thing that'll be left. So we'll just go ahead and color in the rough area. Bam, that's all that's left. Definitely apply that. And then we go to remove and we layer this on top of him. There we go. And then now we get him. Oh, no, don't have him selected. Have this layer selected. There we go. And now we remove this so that he is in it. That might be the only parts of it that we want overlapping him are these parts. So then if we put this back on top, I think that does help. I think that definitely hasn't done nothing, especially maybe if we lower him a bit more. Yeah, that does help. That does help a bit, I think. That helps a lot, actually. See, man, it's just that simple. These little effects. All these little things do. That's not horrendous. And we can still upscale him if we want. We can make him a little bit bigger. I think that actually is not horrendous. Again, I'm no Photoshop expert. I just think it's fun. So I think we can use that. And then we can go ahead and take our distortions and put them back on. Now see, that distortion almost ruins our entire effect because it just covers everything that we worked on. So So we might be able to like move it around a little bit. Yeah, so kind of just like covers him, but not quite. Make it a bit bigger. There we go. That just barely. That works. Get this over this guy's face a little bit more. Add in our grain. We'll take the grain and we'll make it bigger so it's more noticeable. Throw it in the front here. There you go. And that is a photo. Oh yeah, it's so big it's gonna keep selecting that every time. I think we actually move this out of the way, get his face in here. And then put that over top. How does he stand in the tank though? We can imagine he's like, we can imagine he's sitting. We can imagine he's like, we can imagine he's kind of somewhat, kind of crouched in there. Also, I mean, if you have the top half of your body outside the tank, it's not that hard to have the lower half of your body in the rest of the tank. I mean, that's a decent amount of thickness of tank that he could have his leg space in. Also, he could just be really short. Don't ask these questions. When you start asking these questions, you start being stupid. And if you're gonna be stupid in my chat, then you should just get out. Now this guy, so we can just so this guy, we can just have him float here, you know? No, we're not gonna have him float there. Let's get rid of all this. Let's see if we want to add anybody else to this photo, or if we're done and we want to move on to the second one, because I do have a second one that we can work with. This guy. This guy can just be sitting sitting on the tracks and just fucking pointing his gun at him. Hey man. you said some shit, eh man? You talking shit, bro? You talking shit? Get, bap, bap, let's get out. I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. We could have him in the back. Yeah, we could have him doing like exercises in the back or something. Just like really cement the scene. Just be like, oh yeah, there's also and also during all of this, there's some training going on in the background. That's actually not that. I kind of did that as a joke. Like I didn't think I actually should use these guys for anything, but now that I'm saying it, that's actually not horrendous. This big ass dude is in the background here. That's actually not a horrible idea. He looks a little bit weird because he's kind of got shadows on him that are not being casted anywhere else. Actually, he might be better up here. Bigger, because now he's closer to the image. Oh, yeah, we did that thing where we shrunk the image so it lowered the resolution, and then we made it back again, and now he's just super pixelated, so no. We want him as he originally was. There we go. Want him shrunk down, probably. Like over here. Rotated, maybe? Well, no, because his muzzle's got to be pointed straight. And see, now we could go through all the fucking effort. Oh, no lag? Oh, we okay now? Well, we could go through all the fucking effort of putting this tree in front of him. Actually, that's not that much effort. Yeah, fuck it. This is a completely insignificant detail, but we're already here. Go, and then apply that, and then huzzah. Yeah, sure, just a couple of fellas, just a couple of the boys, couple of the boys, just oh, we may be lagging again here on the stream. Stream health is poor. No! We're hitting a rough patch, I think. I still have Wi-Fi, so that's okay. Good. Okay, we're coming back. Yeah, I think we should call it here, actually. I don't think we should do the second one. It's also getting late and I need to eat. Going for 2 hours. We don't want to carry on for too long, but I think that is a good image. So we can go ahead and doink all this. We're not going to put the film grain back on yet because we have to edit the text, and it's not going to let us edit the text with that film grain on it and everything. There we go. Oh, I think I already put the film grain back on. Yeah, I did. There we go. Okay. So text. So what should we call this? This is the Centaur. This is definitely the Mark 6. So yeah, that still works. With the CT, this actually has the CT5 transmission at this point, I think. And we can just say stuck on hill. And then this is a front right side view. Front right side view. 923. This could be a 921. I think. Does that match up with the dates on all my other photos that I did? Of like field testing and such. Yeah, it actually might end up wanting to be on the 23rd. Yeah, I'll put it on the 23rd. Fuck it. The 23rd, 1917. Go ahead and throw our grain back on there. Boom. And that is a completed image, a photoshopped image, another picture of one of our tanks. Now, actually, hold on, this one, I kind of want to move this over, actually. I kind of want to shrink this, throw it around. I kind of want it to be like over here, maybe, flipped. Or we could do like this and then have it just be like up here, just like a scratch on the photo. I actually don't really want to use it to obscure this too much. I think that's actually a fine. I think again, from far away, I think when you're looking at this through a Reddit post, it should be fine. We need chronological order. I mean, this should be all right. Yeah, if it's the 23rd, that should be fine. So that, ladies and gentlemen, let's add in our film grain again. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you edit stuff, and it's how you make thumbnails. It's how you make anything. It's all Photoshop is fun and easy. It's all just layers. And again, this website is called or Pix. It's not even spelled pixel like correctly. Oh, let's save this first of all. Probably a good idea. Save. Save. We'll save this as final. So we'll go that. Or no, we'll go final field testing. Stuck. Oops. Stuck on hill. You guys can't see this, but whatever. I'm just saving it. And then, yeah, you get an ad right here, and just click out of it. Yeah, considering, like, what it is, considering this is a free website that, like, anyone can just, like, any of you guys can just use this and boot it up and do whatever you want with it. I'm surprised it's not, like, already, like, way more well-known or famous or popular, but, yeah, it's called Pixel, Pixlr.com. So it's Pixel without an E, and then just the letter R, Pixlr. And yeah, you can do all sorts of really cool stuff with it. And I just have it set. I just have it bookmarked. So you can do quick and easy. The layout for the quick and easy one is slightly different than the one that we were just working on. And again, you can see all my thumbnails, all this stuff. Every time I want to make just like a quick little edit, like this is always what I use. The quick and easy one is different. You can see you have a couple less options. You have just cut out and just, you can, you've got a couple more, focus and effect, adjust and filter. So you don't have quite as many options, but obviously it's way easier to kind of understand and digest. I was using this one for a long time, and then I ended up switching over to the far more complicated one, but you can even see here on here all the different layers that I have to this image, and all the tricks that I used of getting all this stuff to hide behind the leaf and everything. It's all just layers. It's like onions, it's like ogres. It's all just layers. So it's really cool. It's really fun. Graphic design is a cool hobby that you guys should pick up, because it's fun and it works. And maybe one of these days you can end up like this lady right here. She looks like she's having fun. Maybe one day you will too. So yeah, I think that's gonna be that. So we played Sprocket and we made it into, hold on, Bob. We played Sprocket, we completed the mission. We actually, on the first try, which, I mean, goddamn. So we christened this thing, the Trial by Fire, and we've come out victorious. And it turns out that I am actually good at designing tanks. Turns out that if you don't have the pressure of an entire stream watching you, and you have an entire week to do it, turns out I can make a good tank. But in a short time span of 3 hours, while everyone is watching me and giving me a bunch of different advice on tanks that would not work at all, then it turns out it doesn't end up working. But if you just do it yourself, and again, it's like the guy on Reddit said, don't be afraid to start over. Lord knows I did many times. That's why my tanks have so many fucking different designations, is because I redid and redid and redid. But I think that's gonna wrap it up. I don't know when the next time. I don't have any specific ideas for like a next live stream to do. Live streams are the same thing with my YouTube videos. Like, I don't want to make one or do one unless I know for a fact that I have a plan, like a thing that I will be doing for that. I wouldn't imagine myself just going live for no reason and being like, yeah, tonight we're just gonna fucking play some fucking game. I might do that later when I have more subs and more people, but for now I don't see myself just doing that. The closest stream related thing I can imagine possibly happening is I have a video idea for going back and taking a look back at tank-related missions from single-player games. So not like a tank game, but like Halo or Call of Duty or Battlefield, and playing the missions from those games in which you're playing in a tank. Like, everybody knows that those games have at least one tank mission, right? Usually. The tank mission from Battlefield 3 is iconic. Everyone knows that mission with the dinosaur. So I want to do a stream maybe just running back through and doing like a tier list or something and just doing that, and then turn that into a video. But that might be a little ways down the line. So that's the last like stream related thing I could see happening anytime soon, and I don't know when I'm going to do that. But for now, the next stuff coming out of me is going to be videos. Probably Sprocket, definitely Sprocket related. First going to be this video of the P.R.E.B.A.G challenge, and then next, Nomad Prod and I have been working on something that it's going to be a joint. He's going to upload like a piece of it on his channel, and then I'll upload a piece of it here on my channel, and then it'll be really cool. And that will be the next video related project. And then I've got video ideas out the wazoo. My War Thunder is fixed, so we might see War Thunder montages make a comeback. For the month of December, I was trying to keep up with weekly uploads. I did one upload every weekend, leading up to the release of Confusing Guide to Stug. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to keep that up. I think for this month and for the foreseeable future, I will upload whenever the fuck I want, because fuck you. Nah, this stuff takes time, so we'll figure that out. I do also, at some point very, very soon, I'm probably going to go shooting with my rifle, so I actually would really, really like to do a video shooting my rifle. So actually, doing a vlog style thing where I shoot it, you guys get to see me shoot it, and then afterwards I would want to do like a forgotten weapons style, like look at the rifle. I'll have it here on my desk, and I'll mount a camera above it, and I'll have the zoom ins, and I'll not disassemble it fully, but I want to show you guys how it works and tell my small story with how I got it and how I've been using it and stuff. I think that would be a really cool video to do, and that would be fun, because I have ammo now. It's hard as hell to get my hands on, but I'll tell that story at another time. So I think for now, that's it. So that's what's coming up from me. But for now, I am hungry as fuck. And if you guys haven't eaten anything, go eat. I don't know what time it is for you guys, but thank you guys so much for coming in. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Appreciate it as always. Streaming is pretty fun, and I like doing it. And I'm glad we're getting decent viewership on these. So thank you guys so much for watching. And have a good rest of your day. Or night. I don't judge.